Well, hello, friends. It's Marilynne here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for checking it out. And I'm just trying to get going with my lives. And I did one before, but I don't think I clicked go live. I did it, and then I think it went away. And so it wasn't complete. So here I am again. I'm really making my attempts to get my lives in. I know that it takes a while to do these things. And so here I am looking to try to get it done. I just wanted to say if you have the chat available to you, feel free to put something in. Forgive my board. There. So live chat there. So you're welcome if you happened by. I was in such a rush and I looked at the time and said, oh my goodness, I wanted to do it at the spare of the moment because it might help me do better. So I especially like to thank those of you who are 60 and up. That's who I'm going to be catering to. That's my niche. And I'm trying to find purpose, income, and peace of mind. And hopefully this what the seniors I'm reaching out to are looking for too. I'll tell you my purpose in a few minutes, but I'm going to share how I got started, the heartbreaking loss that led me to build the legacy that's now happening for seniors every day. It's helping other seniors, and so I've learned how to do that. So I was a full-time teacher. I taught in elementary school. I taught lots of kindergarten for many years. Then I moved to first grade, and I taught first grade for the remainder of my career. So I taught 40 years. Maybe in the very beginnings, I started in Baltimore. So in the very beginnings of my career, I went from kindergarten all the way to fourth grade. My first year was third. So I like working with the smaller children and all of that, and I still do after 40 years. So after I retired, I said, okay, I have this freedom. What am I going to do with it? And this and that and the other. And I had all these plans to do things. But as I was receiving my retirement and looking at it and thinking about things that I wanted to do, I was discovering that that just was not going to be to make it. My retirement, I still had bills that I needed to pay and all of that. So I said, oh no. By the time I pay my bills and all that, I'm running out of funds for the month. So I said, okay, this isn't going to work. I need to get rid of these bills, but I also need to take myself back out there and maybe do some subbing here and there so I can have a little extra cash in my pocket. So as I was doing that, because I had been active in the district and doing lots of things in the district I taught in, people knew me. So they would ask me to come and sub for them. Oh, can you sub for me? Can you sub for me? So I was beginning to get a lot of different kinds of requests. So as in doing that, I ended up subbing at my school for a time. But then I was presented with the opportunity to work part-time at my school. So that's what happened. And for the past, well, after I retired, maybe 3 years after subbing and all of these things, I ended up working part-time at the school I retired from. And in that, I worked from kindergarten all the way through fifth grade, helping boys and girls meet needs that they had and all of that. And so that was part-time, but it was still taking away the free time I wanted to have and all of that. So I said, it's got to be another way. In the meantime, I looked at multi-level marketing. I liked doing it, but at the same time, I used the products more than I sold them and all of that. So I said, well, I guess I'm not a salesperson. So I said, well, it's taking up all of my time and all of that. And so in the meantime, I had a son who decided that he wanted to be the entrepreneur and to not work for other people anymore. He had finished university and all that and started working out in the field of technology and all that. But then he decided, no, I think I want to work for myself because my time is precious to me. And so that's what he had been doing. And he worked on it and he moved back home and he just worked on his all of his different ideas. And I went along with those ideas too to see what was going on and everything. And then he came upon something where he said, yes, I can be a catalyst for people who are starting startups, because I'm noticing startups are having such a time. And so he did. He wrote up a plan, got it all ready, did what he needed to do, and he sent it out there wherever you send it. He worked in LinkedIn an awful lot and got to know lots of different people and things and all of that. However, just before he was about to launch, he got sick. And it was right at the end of COVID or whatever, but it wasn't COVID. He got sick and he had pancreatitis, they called it. And so while he was in the hospital and they were trying to get him together for that, lo and behold, he ended up with a blood clot. And it was so quick, it just took him right away. So yeah, and that was in 2022, and it was very difficult at that time for us. But I knew how my son was. He was a very kind person, and he loved tech. He started on tech when he was 4. So he just loved doing tech, and he could do programming. He taught himself how to program, and he just, through the years, he was just really, really good. He did that, and he was a musician, and he was also a leader at church with leading them with the praise and worship. So he did all those wonderful things, and he loved the Lord. And so it was like, oh my goodness, I've got to do something for his memory. He was close to his brothers. I had 4. Now I'm down to 3. But his brothers were very close to him, and they had moved away with their careers, and 2 were overseas, and 1 was still in America, in Florida. I'm in California. And so they all came home and did what we needed to do to say goodbye to our son, Chane. That was his name. And so as I said, okay, he's gone. There's a hole. What are we going to do? And as I was thinking and looking and thinking about what to do for him, I came upon an email from a multi-level marketer who was presenting me with the digital growth community. And as I looked at that, and then I said, so let me see what this is, a reputable person. So let me see what he has. So when I looked at it and I saw all the testimonials and oh my goodness, it was like, this is life changing. Chane would have loved this. It says no tech needed and all that kind of thing, but I always find something that I need to do for tech and all. But it said no tech needed and step by step. And I said, oh my goodness, this is so great and grand. And then as I was listening and looking, I discovered that they had different income streams, and one was the legacy builders. I said, that's it. We could do a legacy in memory of Chane for the family. What a wonderful way to do something that he was trying to build his entrepreneurial thing, and here I'm turning into the entrepreneur. And as a result of that is trying to realize the successes that he wanted. And so here I am sharing with you. That's who I am. I'm an educator, but turned digital marketer. And of course, I had to learn how to be brave enough to get here and do this live chat. And so I'd like to stop with my story and just ask if you've ever run into any kind of thing or any kind of loss that you've experienced, or maybe you could tell me about something that you were looking for, like maybe a purpose, because I had to find purpose again. And this was perfect. It was a perfect purpose, and it builds you up and all of that. So I have you ever run into something like that, or have you ever wanted to find a purpose? Okay. So that's basically it. And in the chat, it would just be me right now because I'm doing this live, but the way it's set up, the live takes a while to catch up with things. I'm doing this again. But another thing, I when I lost our son, he was 43 years old. So people were saying, "Oh, the parents should never outlast the children," and all of that. I would hear this all again and again. But so in order to do this, I've always had to reflect on who Cheney was, what he wanted to do, what kind of person he was, and all of that. And so because of all the things he even dabbled in multi-level marketing a little bit with us and all of that. So I said, well, I'm sure he would have loved this because it's helping people and it's growing people and it's bringing in income, passive income for people. So I'm going to take a little break and I'll be right back with you. But if you just give me one, maybe 30 seconds, and I'll be back with you. This would be like my little commercial break. Okay? All right. And just enjoy the music I have for you. Okay. The break is over. I would like to check with you just for a few questions. Maybe you can tell me where you're visiting from. Yes, and what you'd love to see, because I'm going to do this again and again. I'm going to try to come on as much as possible, and I'd like for you to let me know what you would like to see, or if you have any questions, and if you were to do a legacy, like I'm working on a legacy, what would you do with a legacy? Or do you have family or anything like that that you would want to create a legacy for? Okay. So after you answer that, I want to tell you about the system that the multi-level marketer introduced me to. Okay. And he did it all with video and everything. So it was all tech. All of it was tech. And that was so amazing. But anyway, since it is passive income and all of that, the company is called the Digital Growth Community. That's the name of the company. And they have 4 income streams. And the big thing about it is that they have a blueprint. And this blueprint is called the Freedom Formula Blueprint. And in the Freedom Formula Blueprint, there's something called a 2-hour workday. And that I said, what a 2-hour workday? You know, we're all used to working a whole lot longer than 2 hours, that's for sure, for a day's work. Well, this is a 2-hour workday, and it says that there are no tech skills needed, and it has a pre-built funnel, and it's supportive with a community that helps us to do what to do with the pre-built funnel and all of that. So it has a pre-built funnel. It's 100% profit with no monthly fees. There's a supportive, as I said, community. It's a global community of over 55,000 people around the world. That is so amazing. And there's pre-built funnel and training. And so I just want to ask you a question here. Does a 2-hour workday system sound doable to you? Say yes in the comments if it does. So that's my question. And if you have ever worried about running out of money before the month ends, could you say I feel that in the comments? Because I know how it feels to be running out of money. So give me a 10-second break. And I'll wait while you write in the chat what you're feeling. And when this is going to be a replay, and so when it does replay, and I see what you put in the chat, I will respond to it. You can even leave questions there for me. Okay. Okay. Anyway, this type of business helps people who struggle to stretch their income. That's why I asked about running out of money. This is so helpful for those who've stretched and all of that, tried to stretch. So for retirees who want something meaningful, like leaving a legacy, this is the perfect thing. So I'm not just doing this for myself, I'm helping others. That's why I'm here in my life. Seniors wanting to reclaim their time. They want to have money for freedom to do things, or freedom to fix things that need to be fixed, or freedom to have their security, so that as their time ends or whatever, or as they get too sick to take care of themselves, there's a possibility of having money to take care of yourself with this. So we would love for you to think about that. Would you like to be a part of a community that actually helps you succeed? I've experienced it. And then reading and going into the community and seeing things, and I'll show you in the future, I'll show you what it's like with the community. They really do help. They give you suggestions and things that they've done, and you say, oh, I'm going to try that. So the community is a superb way to get things done and all of that. So let's see what else. I believe in this because it's changing lives, including mine. Look at me sitting here talking and sharing with you. And I hope you're able to understand things that I'm saying. I hope I'm not all over the place and all of that kind of thing. But it starts with one decision. Just say yes. Okay? Just say yes. It means, like in this message, uh, if it spoke to your heart, if this message is speaking to your heart or anything like that, just type ready and I'll send you the blueprint. I'll be watching my YouTube live in the comments and how many are looking and all of that. And I will be making lives as much as I can. Okay? You deserve to receive in this season of life. We've been giving, giving, giving. It's time for us to be the ones to receive in this season. And that's another reason why I'm doing the lives. And follow me. Just if you look me up and all that, I think there should be something here when it's all edited and everything, and it'll give you information as to how to follow me. And I'd love to meet all of you, anyone who's watching. And aside from the community that's so bold and wonderful, I'm putting together a community. I'm in the process of working on it now. So that's in my future, building the community to go with the digital growth plan that I'm working on. So hopefully, as soon as I find the replay information, anyone who missed this live, you'll be able to check it out. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. God bless.